My name is Andrew Anderson. I'm in a band called Andrew Anderson in North South. I'm studying professional music at Berkeley right now, and I'm in my third semester currently. I made up my mind when I was 15 that I wanted to do this, but ever since then, like, I've had 5 or 6 times where it's been like, oh, I'm joining the army. Like, I don't have any money, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to eat next week. Like, and so there have been, like, actually probably the most recent moment of clarity that I've had has been, I'm taking the fall semester off, and we're going on tour, and we're doing that whole thing, and just trying to get out and play as many gigs as we can. And so just kind of realizing that, all right, this is what I need to be doing. I need to be playing out. I need to be playing my music for people in a venue, as opposed to, talking about it with a bunch of kids at Berkeley.
He's a great storyteller. His lyrics are incredibly meaningful and come from a really personal place, whereas I tend to make up a lot of things in my songs, like more imaginative stories, but like he has a real gift for taking something that's like an experience that's happened to him and making an extremely applicable song out of it. And he's probably written half the songs that we play now since I met him, and I think every single one he writes gets more refined in that sense.
Last CD that I produced was Love in Reverse, in parentheses, Love Makes War and Other Unfinished Work. It was a EP that I actually started recording this when I used to live in Seattle. I lived in Seattle for about a year, and I started recording this while I was there, and that was back in 2006, somewhere in there, like right around the end of 2005. Started recording it then, and had these recordings that are, honestly, some of these are very different than what we're doing now as a band.
We're trying to put a tour together at the end of the summer, and sort of wherever that takes us, wherever we end up with that, is sort of going to determine what happens. But I think either way, I'll probably be playing with Andrew for a long time, I think.
I'm not looking to become the best mandolinist in the world. I really like writing songs, and that's what I want to do. But it's also, it's fun playing bluegrass tunes. It's fun just sitting and picking with some friends and having a beer or whatever. But one of the things that I like about the mandolin for me is just being able to take a song and write it in a different way than I would have written it if I'd written it on the guitar.
Dreaming of, we still never talked about love.
Abby, thank God you're okay. I was so worried, and they wouldn't tell me what happened to you or where you were.
Where are we?
We're in some sort of facility. I don't know. The last thing I remember was being late to seminar and getting our assignments from
Dr. Skittler. I remember. But what about now? Do we know why we're here?
Well, after I woke up, the nurse in my room ran out when she heard you screaming. Hey, what was that anyway? I grabbed my chart and saw something about chlorodoxine.
What's that?
I'm not sure, but I know it sounds familiar.
What do you need me to do? Kick an orderly? Foam at the mouth? Fake a seizure?
No, nothing like that. All we have to do is get a hold of our charts.
Dr. Skittler! What's going on here? Hold on. Try to calm down. Look at me. Look at me. Eyes up. Eyes, relax. It's okay.
MMORPG addiction has become an extremely big problem because of the nature of the games. It's sort of like when you give a rat a piece of cheese, and then you make it more and more difficult for him to get that piece of cheese. And eventually, it's extremely difficult, but he knows that if he goes a little bit further, he can get that piece of cheese. And that's how MMORPGs are set up. You start off, it's very easy to level, it's very easy to get new items and crap, but sooner or later, you're playing for 10 hours just to get that next item that'll give you, plus 1% damage or something like that. Yeah, actually, when I was at Blizzard Entertainment, basically what they told us is that we were trying to keep our players fat, really fat, because if they're fat, then they can't get up, and if they can't get up, then they can't stop playing.